working with a constitutional sheriff dedicated to the holy cause of liberty and to the proposition that government is here, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. You get that sheriff to know and understand that and converted to the holy cause of liberty and working with we the people, then we take America back, county by county, one good constitutional sheriff and one good we the people working with him, beside him, and standing with him. And you know, if you do that, folks, this battle for liberty will stay peaceful. If you don't have your sheriffs on board with this, I don't see it staying peaceful. Where are the people going to turn for peace, safety, and liberty if they have no sheriff on board to do it? What are you going to do? During the last 6, 7, 8 years, we've been working to defend Amish farmers against the onslaught of state and federal authority. Usually the FDA, but the USDA is doing it too. Totally innocent people who don't want to have anything to do with government, who don't want to get involved in politics at all, who are totally submissive, and what happens? Here comes federal and state bureaucrats with their SWAT teams raiding their food co-ops and their dairies because they have the audacity not to pasteurize their milk. And now I've gone places, I've gone to like 7 different states, and I've drunk raw milk in 7 states with Amish farmers in protest at state capitals and other meetings across the country. And I've done it twice in Kentucky, and one was at the Kentucky Sheriff's Association, where I was asked to be the keynote speaker at their banquet about 8 years ago. And I drank raw milk, and the sheriff that had the jurisdiction there, it was illegal what I was doing. I felt like I was taking cocaine or something. And it was milk. Milk in its purest form, God's milk. You know? So I drank the milk, and so now I've done it all over the country. And you know the crazy thing about that? I hate milk. I've hated it ever since I was a little kid. I hate milk, okay? Okay, so there has to be one thing that I want you to understand about the CSPOA, Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association. Every one of you can become a member. That's who I want to become members. The boss of the sheriff. Amen. You go tell him you're a member and you want him to become a member. You want to get the training. The main thing is we want the training. There's never a conversion without some sort of training. If nobody ever talks to the pastor, if nobody ever goes to church, if anybody sits down, I want to know and understand the gospel. Great. I want to know and understand the Constitution. How are you going to get there if you've never even read it? How are you going to defend, uphold, and obey the Constitution and you've never studied it and you've never read it? That's where we come in. And the person in charge of that training just so happens to have a Supreme Court victory. And folks, this is amazing. This is astonishing. You know what Scalia said in this? Yes, it was written by Justice Scalia. He said, quote, "We have held, however, that state legislatures are not subject to federal direction." Yeah. Wow. Don't you wish your state knew that? Yeah. Of course. And if the state legislature is not subject to federal direction, how would that mean that political subdivisions, cities and counties, are they subject to federal direction? No. Of course not. They're part of the state. They are political subdivisions. Then he adds that at the end. He said, or the states or their political subdivisions. Wow, what a principle. Ready for another one? Yeah. Right out of this. But the Constitution protects us from our own best intentions. What does that do to COVID-19 regulations? They're gone. But when there's no conversion, when people don't know and understand the Constitution, see, Scalia didn't come up with anything new. He may have said a few things that were new, but he just was reiterating the old-time adage that government is here to protect us, that government is here to serve us, and that they are bound by the Constitution, and that's the supreme law of the land. You know, and tomorrow I'm going to do a video, and I'm going to be talking to sheriffs across the country, and hopefully they'll watch it. So I'll make it short so they won't have an excuse not to. They could watch this video, or they could read this book, and the book over there on the table, the County Sheriff, America's Last Hope. They could read both of them while they eat a donut. So, thank you very much. So it's an easy process. I write small stuff. I don't. G. Edward Griffin's book is like the second largest book I've ever read. You know? And folks, I make it easy for them. The County Sheriff, America's Last Hope is 50 pages. The proper role of law enforcement is 30 pages. This is pocket size and it's 15 pages. And then he says, after the part where, but the Constitution protects us from our own best intentions, does it, folks? No, it doesn't. But constitutional stalwarts and generals and sheriffs, they do, don't they? They can, when they enforce and obey and defend the Constitution. 4 words of our whole oath, our whole mantra, our motto at the CSP Way: uphold, defend, protect, serve. Those 4 things. 4 words. That's all the sheriff has to do. All he has to do to really do his job is keep his oath of office. But he's got to get converted first. He's got to get converted to the Constitution and see what an amazing thing the Founding Fathers did. Astonishing. Love it. And then he went on to say, the Constitution, divides power among sovereigns and among branches of government precisely so that we may resist the temptation, what's going on today? Resist the temptation to concentrate power in one location as an expedient solution to the crisis of the day. The crisis of the day. Scalia brought up the crisis of the day. You think the COVID-19 qualifies?
Yeah.
Just kind of, huh? Okay. Now, should we see if this is going to work? All right.